Sorry, man. I'm going to get off my Trevor Bauer soapbox here now for a moment.
What was that thing you said that Melania would say?
Be better. No, be best. She was very anti-bullying, man. You got to be better and be best. I mean, if anything, we could learn from her, Melania, the great Melania Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for downloading and listening to West Box Score. I'm Alex Gonzalez, back again in the QB pocket in the post, as D-Bot and Sonny Amano mentioned last week that I was the AD to the Laker team when I was out. I mean, but I gotta say, man, D-Bot, well, D-Bot's here. Sonny's not here now. He must have heard I was coming back and he's like, I'm gonna take this one off. You and D-Bot take care of it. So what's up, D-Bot?
Yo, what's going on, brother? Doing good, man.
Oh, man. It's going good. I'm glad to see you again, man. I'm missing Sonny Amano. We can't get the triangle together, man. How are we going to feel? Is going to be so upset, man. We can't run it.
I know.
But, man, listening to you guys last week, man, without me, it's like, damn, I've never heard the podcast sound so good, man. I think they found the missing ingredient, which is they don't need AD. You just need Schroeder in that lineup, and you guys are good. Like, you guys don't need AD. That's all. It's all D-Bot and Sonny, man. That's the spinoff show, the D-Bot and Sonny show. In the mornings.
I had the contrary feedback coming back, getting messages about like, I need Alex back next week, and this doesn't work without Alex, And I'm like, all right, thanks. Did I not do a good job? What happened?
Nah. To be fair, those were on my burner accounts. I'm not gonna. No, man. Honestly, it's not the same with all three of us here, man. The show is best when it's all three of us, and you guys held it down last week without me, and you guys did a great job, phenomenal job. I enjoyed listening. And I will do our best without Sonny being here, because it's, once again, we're not at 100%. The team isn't at full strength. And sometimes if you even do get that dub, you don't take the L when you get the dub. It's an ugly dub, but it's still a dub. That's all that matters. We're still giving you a win column, a podcast here. So speaking of, the AD, I was the AD missing on the lineup last week. The Lakers are still without AD. And how are they looking now without Anthony Davis in their lineup?
Well, the Lakers over the weekend, they actually won. They won 2 games after having a 4-game losing streak, which was crazy. So that was good. I mean, I know I had texted you guys saying, whoa, who would have thought that all needed to be back was Dennis Schroeder? But I guess definitely it worked. And, they got 2 more games coming up against the Suns and the Kings before the All-Star break, which I know Sonny and I were kind of talking about like, oh, man, can't wait for that All-Star break because the Lakers need that rest. And it feels like, we're getting there. But it also feels like the Lakers are turning it up by not, like, going into that All-Star break, continuing the losing streak. I mean, just from what I've seen, LeBron really locked down defensively. Kind of felt like he saw playoff LeBron for a bit, but maybe it was just, like, his pride getting to him. Like I do not want to go to this All-Star break as the captain of the All-Star game with a losing streak. You know what I mean? It's just not good for mental, reasons. So I thought that was great seeing them come back and win, beat the Warriors, and I thought it was good. I mean, I'm happy that they bounced back a little bit. I can't wait for AD to get back. I mean, they're just going to look stronger than ever. And the schedule looks like it's still going to be a little tricky, but I mean, every team is going to have a tricky schedule coming up. There's games to make up and a lot of the COVID things that have happened in between. So yeah, it's been insane.
It's so hard with this COVID seasons that the NBA and the NHL are both doing because of those makeup games, man. You have a schedule kind of made out already, so you kind of plan travel. So now you just have to quickly abrupt travel, right? So I guess these teams got to have, right, private jets, private charters, because there's no way they're making the travel secretary like, hey, man, cancel those flights that we had to Minnesota. Actually, turns out we're going to San Antonio. Like that would really suck. So good thing the Lakers got that chartered jet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the Lakers, man, hopefully they could turn it around after the All-Star break because they really do need to stop. That 4-game losing streak, man, was rough to watch.
It was.
They looked rough, man. So I'm glad they're gonna get a break, get a breather, reset, and hopefully get some reinforcements back. How are the Clippers looking?
Well, the Clippers are right behind the Lakers in 3rd place. They had a tough loss on Sunday against Milwaukee. I got to see that game on ABC 7. And for the most part, it was like really back and forth. Like Milwaukee and the Clippers were just getting buckets, like 3-pointers. I mean, Kawhi and Paul George did a great job, but unfortunately, I think it was like the last 5 minutes of the game is when the Clippers just were not getting their shots in at all, and Milwaukee was just taking over, and they were getting a couple shots. I think they lost by 5 points, like 100 to 105. But for the most part, to me, the Clippers looked pretty solid against the Bucks, who I believe are in third place in the East, or second place in the East. I'm sorry. And I think that I think they look pretty good. I mean, obviously the finish was it expected for Clippers, but I mean, I think that they just got to retool and kind of figure out who they have, like how to make it work. I don't know what changes are to come, if there are going to be any trades or anything. I know the trade deadline's coming up, but I do feel like with this roster, they got to figure out like just how to get something going. And get more of the other guys involved besides Kawhi and Paul George. But yeah, I think All-Star break, same thing too with the Clippers. I think it's going to be a good time for them to regroup and reset. So it'll see how they go. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, top 3 team right there, both Lakers and Clippers.
So we're still on track for that Western Conference showdown between the Lakers and Clippers. Man,
yes.
Hold out hope, guys. Yeah. It's going to happen. The Battle of LA. It's going to happen. Western Conference Finals this time inside Staples Center. Maybe with some fans. Hopefully we get some vaccines sped up, man. That'll be nice. That'll be real nice.
Yeah.
Just me being super optimistic, I think. But anything could happen, man. Yeah. This world has showed us 2020, 2021. Anything could happen, goddammit. So let's hope for some positives now. So you mentioned the All-Star break that's coming up. Who are some players that are coming up in the All-Star game?
Well, from the Lakers and Clippers, LeBron James obviously going to be named captain. He got named captain for the West. But obviously, you know how it is. It's Team James versus Team Durant. Kevin Durant is the other captain. They're still going to draft their players, but Durant won't be participating in the game due to injury. Kawhi Leonard was also named as a starter for the West. Anthony Davis was named in the reserve, but since he's injured as well, he will not be playing. And Paul George was also named to a reserve. So pretty much the 4 like stars of both teams like are the ones that are going to be at the All-Star break. So I think definitely it's a good opportunity for the rest of the roster on both teams, Lakers and Clippers, to really figure out like how good do they want to be for the second half to make that push. But it should be fun. Obviously All-Star game is always fun. They're going to do the same thing that they did last year of dedicated to Kobe and Gianna. So there'll be 24 and 2s on the jerseys. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I see that the trade deadline's coming up on March 25th. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for the Woj bombs to drop. And, hopefully it involves some Lakers improvements in center position. And for the Clippers, I mean, if they get something going, I mean, hopefully they get just a couple more guys that can help with the shooting and stuff for Kawhi and Paul George. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not official until Woj tweets it out, right?
No.
That's how you know it's authentic.
Yes.
It's got the Woj seal of approval.
Yeah.
Right?
It's always tricky, especially when he announces some news like the day of the All-Star game, like someone just got traded and you're like, oh man, that guy's like prepping for the All-Star game. And he's like probably having to figure out he's not going to play for that team come tomorrow, the day after.
Man, dude, that's crazy. Well, the NBA, we're getting over to the finish line now, man. It's home stretch time after the All-Star break. That's it. These games the games counted before, but now these are more pivotal, man, for that seeding. So let's see when AD comes back. So speaking of players coming back, but teams came back, and that's the MLB spring training that got started. The Dodgers, your reigning, defending, undisputed world champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Man, honestly, I never thought I'd ever say that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it to this day, and it still gives me like, oh, damn, it's real.
Yeah.
It really is real, man. And I sent it to the group. You guys, I was really excited for this, and I even sent you the Kevin Hart crying gift because that's kind of how I felt, man. I got a little emotion. I got a little bit of the feels again, dude. Just because it's my Dodgers, like. That's absolutely my favorite, my first sports team, the first team I started following. So that's my first love, right? You never forget. So it's like, and you're always going to stay loyal. And it's just like, man, I'm just so happy. I'm just so freaking happy to this day, man. What are we, months away from October when it first happened? And I still have those feels like when they first clinched it, Julio Urias just clinching it with the last strikeout. And it's still here, man. It's still fresh. And I'm excited to see how this team looks in spring training, and we've had as we're recording this now, I think there's been 2 games so far, and they've looked good in both of them. I mean, I think we got our first look at Trevor Bauer now in Dodger blue, and he looked good. Just 1 hit, retired 6 batters in a row at one point. 2 strikeouts over 2 scoreless innings, and the Dodgers ended up beating the Rockies 10-0 in that game. Yeah. So, man, Donald, what are you thinking about these Dodgers, man?
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I like that they're looking strong still, and it's just exciting to see the hitting, the scoring, the pitching. I know we have our comments and our thoughts on Bauer, but I'm glad that he came out and he did what he did. I saw the post-game interview where he mentioned that he wasn't stressed at all, that it's just another game, that he doesn't feel like the butterflies at all. So, I mean, I'm glad that he doesn't. I'm glad that he's just, that he's really feeling confident in himself. And I hope that he keeps that going throughout the season because the Dodgers are going to be needing it. Yeah, definitely. I see that. I forgot I don't know if it was Bleacher Report or something that was saying that like the power rankings came out for whatever publication and that they put the Yankees on top of the Dodgers now, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, man. It's a bit insulting there for us Dodger fans.
That's called that New York bias, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's typical. Very typical. This is one of the reasons we started this podcast, the West Box Score, because of that damn East Coast bias.
Exactly.
Put some respect on the defending champion's name, man.
Exactly.
Come on.
How do you do that?
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo! Come on. They're the Ric Flairs of baseball. Limousine riding, jet flying. Woo! Come on, guys.
Yeah, man.
And they got the dirtiest player in the game in Trevor Bauer, so that makes sense. They are the Ric Flairs of baseball. No, in all seriousness, Trevor Bauer, I've been watching his antics a little bit more to see what he's up to. Of course, me being the eagle eye dog watcher of Trevor Bauer, and I want to like what he does because he got on YouTube with his agent and talked about what we did in this process, and like, man, this is actually really great for an athlete to be doing this. So, and that's one of the reasons why I started following Trevor Bauer on Twitter. But when you hear his thought process and just how he interacts with fellow fans and colleagues like Noah Syndergaard, it's just like, what's wrong with you mentally that you have this just immaturity? I guess you would just say, right? Like you're really smart and profound, right? To think about like the fans' point of view and want to see the behind the scenes of a negotiation process, and so I appreciate that. Yeah. But your mentality of handling negativity in a certain way is very immature, man. Negativity is throughout the world, man. We all got to deal with it. It's in our personal lives, professional lives, out there in the world. So, I mean, just do better, Trevor Bauer. That's all I can really say, man. It's just like you're in a prime example to be a role model, not just for like children, but like for fans of the team, dude. Like people like myself, we look to you to see what you're up to. And like I said, I'm a dog watcher of him mainly because I want him to improve. Like I want to see that post where he says, you know what, I'm just doing what I can, guys, to help the team, and just kind of shutting his mouth after that. Just kind of like, say what he wants to say politically about, maybe his like pro-Trump stuff. But hey, man, that's just my opinion. Just end it with, because at the end of the day, these are all just our opinions, man. Yeah. We're all going to disagree, and it doesn't make you less of a person or wrong even. It just makes you different opinionated about it, man. Yeah. So, sorry, man. I'm going to get off my Trevor Bauer soapbox here now for a moment.
Was that thing you said that Melania would say?
Be better. No, be best. She was very anti-bullying, man. You got to be better and be best. I mean, if anything, we could learn from her, Melania, the great Melania Trump, ladies and gentlemen. So the Angels also got started with spring training, man. Shohei Ohtani had a pair of hits in his first 2 at-bats, and the Angels ended with a tie against Chicago White Sox. They only went 5 innings. Gotta love spring training. And a shout out to Sonny's Mariners, right? They're about to get started with their spring training, and Julio Rodriguez hits a walk-off single to score in a 5-4 win against the Padres, man, against Slam Diego. So they're doing it, beating Slam Diego. So I guess all that money they spent's not paying off just yet. I mean, spring training games don't really matter. We're just getting a sense of what's going on out there. But I love it anytime Slam Diego can lose now. So I guess that's just we've built, and I'm sure it's just mainly in the fan bases, right, Donald? Like we have a built-in rivalry now with Slam Diego.
Yeah, it feels like it for sure, especially because they're closer to us, you know.
Right? They should have always been like our hated rivals.
Yeah, you know. So maybe this is going to be the beginning of something
bigger. So the world champion Dodgers are playing on opening day, Thursday, April 1st. Quadruple header, man.
Yeah.
Is that enough baseball for us, Donald? I don't know, man. Spending the whole day watching baseball. I feel a sick day coming. I feel a sick day from our day jobs to spend the whole day watching baseball, man. That sounds like heaven, man. I just love watching baseball, Dodgers especially, obviously, right? But just baseball in general. Just like I was saying, that first spring training game, man. Just having it on, just felt right. Everything felt right in the world. Just knowing baseball's back and the Dodgers are defending World Series champions, man. Never gonna get tired of saying that. Never gonna get tired of saying that, Donald.
Yeah.
So another league is getting started in spring training. MLS, the MLS is back season. The MLS is back season.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with our Galaxy?
Well, obviously, Greg Van E is obviously the new coach of the LA Galaxy. If you're a fan and you follow the Galaxy, you'll see that the Galaxy posted a video at him doing like the opening. I don't want to say opening day. I know we just talked about opening day, but basically the first day of like the preseason training. So, you know, he gave this fired up speech about, you know, how, you know, you have to take it. You have to be able to win. It starts with you. And you know, pretty much kind of like I heard it and I kind of felt like, okay, this is kind of like the spiel you're supposed to say as a coach to get the team motivated and kind of getting them to trust you. So it sounded really cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, I might sound like a little like racist or discriminatory by saying this, but it is cool to see like someone like American be able to do that. Just to kind of like, you know, boom, boom. Let's just go out and kill it. You know what I mean? And it seems like the rest of the team, well, based on the video and how they edited it seems like the rest of the team agreed because they were just a lot of nodding. Like I see Pavon nodding, Chicharito nodding, like, yeah, I'm fired up. So it was cool. So I thought that was nice. And yeah.
Wait, Pavon was there?
Yeah, I saw him. I mean, I saw him. Like a lot of them had their face masks. It might have not been him, but I wanted to say
I thought he was still in Argentina. I thought he was still in Argentina. I thought they were still negotiating with him. I thought last I heard they're still negotiating with Boca Juniors, and Greg Vanney almost expects Pavon to come back, but they're already planning other situations if he does not come to terms with the team. So I don't know who that was. I remember seeing a guy close up, but I don't think that was Pavon.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, like you said, they're all wearing masks. It's hard to tell who's who. Man.
Yeah, it was. I kind of felt like it was him because of the haircut, you know, because he has that like kind of like that split haircut where it's kind of like, and he likes wearing his hair like all wet, you know, like the
cool football player's haircut.
Yeah. So I kind of thought like, oh, there it is, like wet hair, you know, kind of looks like he just took a shower, you know. Yeah, that's probably what.
Yeah. No, I saw that same video, and I don't think it's wrong at all to make sure the coach of the American team speaks the language, which is English, and it's fine if you speak it broken, if you're able, maybe even have a good translator with you to help get the message across, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where a lot of it fell on deaf ears for this team, But then I don't think that's necessarily the case because isn't football like a universal language? Almost you play it with passion and emotion. So it's like, man, you know, like you almost gesture body language, like dale. You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
it's kind of, but you do need a raw speech, especially before you get out onto the pitch, right? And that's what that was. He was trying to fire up the squad before they got out there.
Yeah, his vibe gave to me like he's like, hey, like I know what it's like to be a player and I know what it's like to be a coach now, and I just want to come off with that vibe of like, you know, we're in this together, you know, not in the cliche way that you've been hearing it in all these commercials, but you know, like he feels like he's telling the team like we're in this together and we're there to put out a great product, and let's go out and put out a great product. And today, I think he said at the end like today's just day one, you know, so we're gonna get started. And then that was it. And then like even at the end he was just very like, all right, let's just go. Like we're not even gonna try to do like a big thing about it. Like you could tell he wants to get to work, which I thought I appreciated.
Just get out there and run around. Get out there, practice. Get out there, get in condition. Which is our star DP is in great condition. It looks like just look at him on the IG.
Yeah,
he totally looks like one of these fitness influencers now.
He does.
With all the work he's doing out there at Griffith Park and his CrossFit stuff, his paleo diet. The fact that we know this as fans is pretty funny, right? But I'm glad that this is his branding right now.
Yeah.
Like this is obviously his and he's saying as much, like, I owe a lot to the team. Like I have a lot to make up for, which is part of the accountability we wanted the squad to have.
Yeah.
When we said, that's one of the things we said, right, Donald, at the end of last season, we just want this team to give more of an effort on the field.
Yep.
So it looks like they're taking that to heart.
Yeah.
They're starting, he being one of them, Chicharito. So I'll say his name.
Yeah.
Because he's trying his best, man. That's all we want, man. Improvement every day. All we can do as people is improve. Notice your flaws. Try to correct them. And if not, ask for forgiveness of you being a dummy if you just won't change your ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So, LA Galaxy, man, I'm just super excited for this upcoming season because of Greg Vanny and the retooled Chicharito. And, man, they're going to be looking good on the field too, man, with that new community kit that they released.
I know, dude. I'm so tempted to get it. I saw it at the Adidas website, and I was kind of like, I put it on the cart. I was like, dang, I really want to hit checkout. It's not payday yet,
surprised.
though. It's not payday yet, though. So I was kind of like, I want to hit checkout, but it's not payday yet.
You got to use that Affirm paying payments, bro.
Yeah, so we go sign up for Afterpay and have them split it in 4 payments, man.
Serious.
So
I'm surprised you were able to add to cart. I was hearing a lot. Well, when I looked online when they launched it, it was sold out on the MLS shop.
Yeah, when it first launched, it sold out. I remember I sent you the link, and we were talking about that. All the sizes kind of sold out that first day. So I went, I think it was over the weekend. I went to the MLS store, and they had some. Obviously, like, I think the small was already sold out and whatnot. But then I went to Adidas.com, and I just randomly searched LA Galaxy, and they're also selling the community kit there, and they had all the sizes available. So I kind of feel like I forgot who was it that I heard that said that there might be like a limited run on this, but I feel like maybe they might not, because how is this so, like, I literally could have bought it, like, for real. Like, and I was like, if only it wasn't, if it was payday, it'd be easy. But
well, yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I was already there. And I could have bought like multiple ones, but it was trippy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm kind of on the fence about buying multiples, right? Because I think you're talking about our boy Josh Gessman over on the Corner of the Galaxy podcast. Yes. Shout out to Josh Gessman.
Shout out Josh Gessman,
the podfather over there.
Yeah.
So shout out. Yeah, man. I really feel like this kit is one of those ones you just want to have, right? Yeah. Definitely want to sport it as much as you can, and as much as you sport it, you're gonna tend to wear it out, right? So it's almost kind of cool to have a backup. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have 3 hats, Dodgers World Series Championship hats.
Yeah.
And I have them stored away because I don't know if they're ever going to get to that win a World Series again. So I just want to have something that says Championship World Series Dodgers caps.
Yeah.
And I have, that's for me, right? For one hat to sport, one hat to have collected, put away, and one hat to wear again when I feel like flossing it one day. You never know. These clothes are not forever. But if you store them and you collect them, then why not? And this community kit, it may be one of those two, like you were mentioning, it may be a limited run. I don't know. It's like how much you want to panic buy right now. Like you're in a stock market here.
Yeah.
You want to panic buy all 3 Galaxy kits? I don't know, man. Do you, Donald.
Yeah.
Wait for your payday and go wild, dude. But I already ordered up my authentic, so let's see. Hopefully it has that honey on the sleeve, because I think that's cool. I don't mind the Galaxy's sleeve sponsor this year, which is honey. I use it on my Google Chrome all the time, and I'm like, what kind of coupons you got for me when I'm checking out, dude? So sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, but I trust a sponsor like that. So on terms of sponsorships, man, I don't know if we should touch on this real quick without our boy Sonny. I know he wants to talk about this too. But you guys mentioned this last week. Is ACFC's got a new front of jersey, front of shirt sponsor, and it's DoorDash. And say what you will about DoorDash, man. I use it. I know I've had to use it when I was a kid, COVID for a while, and I had to stay home, and I had to order food and couldn't go out, so it was very helpful for me in that sense. And I appreciate when businesses do this, like an Uber. Like I feel like businesses like Uber have done a lot to prevent drunk driving, more so than the government has with their checkpoints, the sobriety checkpoints, right?
Yeah.
I could get into a little bit politically about it and how I feel like corporations tend to help a little bit more than the government. But I mean, I just have an issue with how ACFC presented their sponsor in the sense where they had Natalie Portman, and other founders from the other women, owners of the team say, ACFC is involved for the community. We want to be, we're grassroots. We care about the community. And then when they finally said, we were looking for a sponsor that, put profits on the same level as people. And it's like, and you're going to go with this company? Are you sure? Yeah. It's like, but then we don't know what the deal was. I mean, and honestly, when I first saw who it was, I saw a little red, man. Not gonna lie, my blood was still boiling from Prop 22, man, and all the money that these companies like DoorDash and Uber and Lyft spent to prevent these companies from, calling their employees and keeping them independent contractors to prevent these companies from paying health insurance, minimum wage, all these little things that people who are employed take for granted sometimes. Yeah. It's easy to take for granted. Yeah. But it's just, I mean, I don't mean to get out my soapbox again here. I have my Trevor Bauer soapbox over there. I don't want to get my ACFC DoorDash one out. We'll save that for Sunny so you can play a little bit of devil's advocate with it, because I mean, I have my thoughts, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for me with the ACFC.
I feel like there's only room for one villain in this whole independent contractor space, and that's Vince McMahon.
The original DoorDash, the original Uber, WWE. How would we feel then if the Galaxy, which by the way, I'm not going to let Galaxy escape this. We were just talking how much we want this new community kit, which is, by the way, you call it a community kit. Why? I don't know why they decided to go with that name, but the fact that their front of shirt sponsor is Herbalife Nutrition, which is a pyramid scheme by, multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing, yeah.
So, sorry. I mean,
direct sales, scheme. Network marketing, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we can't let the Galaxy get away with that either. They really need to get a new front of shirt sponsor, man. And I get the Galaxy's loyal to Herbalife because they took a chance on the Galaxy way back when. So, I mean, and I get that, but at this point, man, you got to think of the look you're doing here, man. This is not a good look. And I get, LA Galaxy gets all the free vitamins they can handle, but it's just like, come on, dude. Like, think about what your mission statement is, what you're trying to put out into the community, because they do such good stuff in the community, right? Yeah. So with the East Side Riders, they get together and collab with to help out communities of color who need help with food and backpack giveaways, and stuff like that. Like these, I mean, to be honest, I haven't kept up with what LAFC has been doing lately, but I haven't seen a lot of what they've been doing to help out the community right now in this pandemic. I'm not trying to put them on blast, but it could be I'm just not following them on social media like that. I don't want to speak out of school here, Sonny. I know you're listening to this right now, and you're probably pointing out a couple of 5 other things that I'm not knowing. Once again, you could come on next week and put us in our place here. But yeah, it's just, so if you're really what like any other team is, like especially a football club, you want to engage the community. You can't have Herbalife out there, man. You got to switch it up. So what if Galaxy's new sponsor was WWE, Donald? How would we feel then?
Peacock, WWE.
Peacock. Ooh, but see, Peacock, it's different, right? It's not actually WWE, even though they are benefiting in the sense where they are paying WWE, but not directly. Yeah. But not directly, and that's all business. Yeah. That's what business
I'm not going to lie. I think it would look cool to have a WWE logo on in front of the jersey. Like, they'd be selling it on their website too. WWE shop.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty dope.
Get the Galaxy jersey.
Man, I think we've always speculated our dream sponsor for Galaxy would be SpaceX. Yeah, just because that's such like the perfect branding. Tesla, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, I was seeing that like Virgin Galactica is like another spot in another stock out there that's doing what SpaceX is doing. Of course, owned by like Virgin. But yeah, that'd be cool. Like a SpaceX or Virgin Galactica or something science-y that's not Herbalife, but like more like science,
Mm-hmm. Or we could be super realistic and think, well, who would really sponsor the Galaxy? And it's got to be Modelo. That's who's going to sponsor.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to the beer sponsors. I feel like that used to be like the standard for, you know what I mean? Any sports team was... beer.
Well, when we go back to the community kit, which is a throwback to the 1907 jersey, in the back of that Galaxy jersey was Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way in the IG video the Galaxy put out, they covered up that sponsorship and just put Pasadena. They changed it's still that red square that's very reminiscent
at the bottom of the kit.
I remember the bottom of the kit. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I did see that video too. I thought like, oh, but I get it. Like they don't have the rights to do that, but it's funny.
Yeah, I think the beer sponsors and cigarette sponsors are taboo nowadays.
Oh shoot,
but
I didn't know
so
that.
Why can't we get on that same level when it comes to gig economy and multi-level marketing corporate sponsors?
Yeah,
that's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, teams.
Yeah, or even like a video game sponsor would be cool, like EA Sports or something. Like It would just.
Well, I think EA Sports actually sponsors a lot of the Premier League.
Oh, do they?
That's why if you play a game when you play FIFA, it's very Premier League heavy, and that's why Premier League refs have an EA patch on their sleeve.
Oh shoot, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, man,
that makes
Premier
sense.
League, that's where it's at. I mean, MLS needs to get on that boat, dude. If that's the case, pump a little bit of MLS into FIFA, dude.
I know, right? Yeah.
So I don't know if that's why I don't think they'd go individual clubs, but EA likes to go bigger and get the whole league, man.
Now that I've been getting into this NFT rabbit hole, and I found that there's a soccer one, maybe they should hit them up for the sponsor.
What's an NFT, Donald?
A non-fungible token. So if you've been following the NBA, or if you're into like that kind of like House of Highlights culture in the NBA, you would know already about NBA Top Shop, which is like this big old thing where like you could buy packs of digital trading cards for like anywhere between $10 to $230. And like you sell them on the marketplace that they create, and it goes up to like $100,000 for like a LeBron James dunk and stuff. And it's just insane to see that those are the prices for it. And our buddy Rick, who comes on for our wrestling shows, he turned me on to the Street Fighter ones. And I'm looking at the Street Fighter, ones, and they're like as low as like 10 cents. And $1, and then there's like as high as like $20 for like a good one. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? But I think I had showed you guys that there was like, oh, there's a soccer one, So Rare it's called. So and the only reason why I know about it is because like Gary V apparently not donated, but he invested $25,000 into it. And
oh, wow.
It's pretty cool. Like, but the So Rare cards are expensive. Like the lowest is like $80 for a card.
Jesus. And it's all digital, right?
It's all like digital. Yeah, you keep it. And the thing about So Rare is that they're combining the collecting with fantasy. So you collect the cards and then you play them as if you're playing fantasy soccer. And you only can play 4 cards. And it's a goalie, a midfielder, defender, and a forward. And you basically have to have the best players. And if you want to get like the Ronaldos or the Messis, they're going to cost you like $1,000 each. So
wow.
It's for like the serious card collectors, I guess. And I'm like, I guess that's
so
not me.
Funny, man.
It's insane.
Yeah, right.
It's insane to see that this is going to become a thing. If it does like fully go through, but I don't know, man. It's insane.
It just sounds like baseball card collecting to the next level.
It's
right?
gonna like MLB's gonna get in on it for sure.
They have to.
They
absolutely have to. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I used to collect baseball cards. Back in 1920, and so it's. And I would do very similar to what you were saying. Like I would put players in their positions out there on the table, and I'd like randomly pick somebody to be the batter, and I look at his stats, like his batting average versus whoever's pitching's like ERA, and like, oh, this guy's got a higher ERA, this guy's got a good batting average, he'd get a hit, and like kind of just move him along the bases, and like I was a troubled kid, man. I had no friends, so I had to do what I can to I had to do what I had to do to entertain myself there, and that was with baseball cards. And this sounds like that's what you're kind of describing with these NFTs. Was like when you're playing them with fantasy. That you're, oh wow, you're showing me a Harley Quinn NFT there.
Yeah, so there's this other one I just signed up for. It's called Vive. It's funny, I'm just signing up for this stuff left and right.
Nice,
like,
nice.
I'm trying to get in.
That's how you learn, man. I love it.
So these are like $30, and you get the art. And right now this is being resold for $80, and they're like auctioning it off. So it's like you have to like bid on it to win it. And it's insane because it's like a digital card. Like you see her, like it rotates. And you can rotate it however you want, and you keep
that's
it.
Rad.
But it's digital art, so you have to do it. They have DC Comics out here. They have Ghostbusters. They have Powerpuff Girls, and it's insane, man. It's like an insane little thing. I'm like watching and being like, maybe this would be like a side thing if I can get in on it, So the Street Fighter one really has my attention for sure.
Well, Street Fighter's awesome. It's got great drawn characters as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some like anime out there because I mean, who wouldn't? I mean,
I'd get in on all that too. Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Hell yeah.
Dude, get some cool Ultra Blue Goku.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Man, we're gonna do a whole new podcast on just NFTs here.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. We digress. We get back to sports now. Moving on now. Let's move on to the NHL, and that's the LA Kings. Man, our LA Kings are currently sitting 5th in the Honda-sponsored West Division. You know, they've played 20 games of 56 scheduled so far. Once again, I say scheduled because there's so many games that are being moved, postponed. Sometimes I have not seen any canceled yet, so they're just being postponed and pushing a lot. I think at one point I see the calendar is going all the way up to the middle of May now.
Oh, wow.
I think at one point they had the season ending in the beginning of April. So it seems like they're just going to keep pushing it till they get all 56 games that are scheduled played.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if, I guess they may end at some point in 2022, man. I mean, just get them in, right? Eventually. And so they won 6 straight, and we were really excited, right? Like, they're like, okay, they're in the playoff spot. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm so negative on my Kings because they are the Kings, and they're always gonna break my heart. I'm gonna get into them. I'm gonna be super invested. Like, this is it. This is it. This is our run. And then they'll choke or until they make the playoffs. And once they make the playoffs, then I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Donald. I am all in. I'm like, this is playoff Kings now. This is where anything can happen. This is that 8th seed that, you know, ran through the entire Western Conference. Yep. This is where anything can happen. And then they may disappoint me again, but I'm just super happy once they do make the playoffs. Yeah. So entire season, I'm pessimistic because I don't expect them to make the playoffs. But then you'll see me flip once they do make the play. If they do make the playoffs, rather. So when they were on that 6-game winning streak, I still wasn't not sold on this team, not sold, not gonna buy, gonna hold out, not gonna panic buy right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait for that dip. And sure enough, they've lost 2 in a row to Minnesota, which Minnesota's been a goddamn thorn in our sides.
They have been.
So. But I mean, during that 6-game winning streak, I'm not gonna lie, they looked good goaltending wise. They looked good defensively. Matt Roy and obviously got back in the lineup now, so that's helped out defensively with Drew Doughty back there. Drew Doughty finally not having to do as much as he's always overdoing things, and that's what costs them a lot of games. So Drew Doughty's got some help defensively, and they've looked a lot better during that 6-game winning streak. But let's see how they do the rest of this way. Like I said, they're barely about halfway. Plenty of games left to be played, and it's all tight. It's a really tight race in that Western Division.
It is.
Anything could happen. They're far from out of it, and they're far from in it. So I'm just enjoying the season so far. I mean, Donald, what do you think so far?
Oh, same as you, man. Just enjoying the season. Obviously, like you said, the Wild have been a problem. And it's really because I think, like, if you were to slice up this division into 2, I would say Golden Knights, Golden Knights, Blues, and Avalanche are like locks for the top 3. And I always thought, like, if the Kings had a shot at getting in, it would be the 4th. But I would never have thought that the Wild would be that team that gets in the way of the 4th. And it's like, that's what they've been. Never worried about the Coyotes or the Ducks or the Sharks. And that's it. And that's that they've lost to like the Ducks, which is not a good team. Like, you should not be losing to the Ducks like that unless you're like the bottom team. But, you know, they're in the middle. They're in it. Like, they're in the hunt. But yeah, the Wild, man, they've been that pesky team that just doesn't go away. And if that's the team that knocks them out from contention in the future, then that's, I don't know. It's tough to see.
Yeah, it's really tough because it's also unbalanced because some teams have, you know, played more games than others from postponements and what have you. So it's such a weird logjam currently because like, even the Golden Knights, who are like in first, have only played 18 games so far, and second place team St. Louis Blues have played 22 games, so they've played 4 more games. And they're only 1 point back.
Yeah, that's insane.
So I mean, they're in first and they're in first with less games played.
Yeah.
So just think about that and how good the Golden Knights are. They really are, and I know they're the current odds-on favorite to win the cup. But Golden Knights, Golden Knights. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna win the cup. I would bet right now they're not gonna win the cup because the Golden Knights just have this choker mentality that they haven't avoided yet. And now they finally named it the captain. So let's see if they finally lean on somebody. Maybe that's what they've needed the whole time. But I love seeing the Golden Knights just choke when it matters most, mainly because they're a divisional rival. Man, they're a divisional rival, and they knocked out the Kings one year.
Yeah.
So, and that's how rivalries are made in hockey.
Yeah.
Playoff matchups. You never forget those.
No.
Win or lose, you never forget them, honestly, man.
That's true.
I mean, we've beaten Arizona a few times, and it's like I'll never forget beating them.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
still fun. I still have so many players on that team that I just strongly dislike.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of sports, right? That's the fun of watching.
Yep.
So moving on now, before we wrap up, we got to mention UFC 259. Donald, this card is nuts. 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 title fights.
Wow.
The main event, Donald, champion versus champion.
See that? It's insane.
Damn, dude. Izzy, the last airbender, moving up from middleweight to light heavyweight, is taking on Jan Blachowicz there for the light heavyweight title. Izzy loses, he won't lose his middleweight strap. That's what they've been saying, because it's a light heavyweight title belt.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the GOAT, the real GOAT. I mean, you could throw Silva in there. You could throw GSP. You could throw as Sonny's favorite fighter of all time, Khabib Nurmagomedov. You could throw him in there too. But the real GOAT, man, when you look at her resume, she's beaten everybody. Amanda, the Lioness Nunes, taking on Megan Anderson for the featherweight title. And I was really on board with the Megan Anderson hype train from the beginning. She's long, she's got good striking, but she got worked over by Holly Holm. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how she bounces back against the Lioness, no less.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough ask there.
Yeah. Yeah, she's tough, man. I love watching her fight. It's crazy. She definitely kind of is very inspiring to watch too, because of how serious she is when she comes out and then, does the match, and then afterwards how giddy she gets when she's happy. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's crazy, but that's how she's like, she takes it serious and she's focused. Like coming out warm-ups, whatever, like they just like, she's like game face, and as soon as she gets the win, it's like giddy, and I'm like, oh my god, that's how she's about it, man. She's not
trying to beating up people.
Yeah, exactly. And she's not like about this image, even though I've seen it on the Modelo commercial, but that's awesome. Like, she's herself in that commercial, you know what I mean? Like, she's not trying to do no gimmick or anything, which I really appreciate, that she just comes in and she's very inspiring to watch. So yeah, definitely love watching that one.
Yeah, like it's very true. Like, I don't think she has like a quote unquote gimmick. I think she wants to be more publicly known and notarized. So she's been posting a little bit more of just herself having fun. Like, after she beats Cyborg. Yeah. She shows herself and her her team in the limo, driving back from, I think it was from LA back to Vegas. And she was just like, we're in the limo, we're celebrating our win, like, cheers everybody. Like, yeah, that's just, you're just trying to put yourself out there. You're not doing a gimmick, you're just trying to like be more notarized. Yeah. Which is great, man, because she's definitely a real one right there. Amanda Nunes in the co-main event. And the second co-main event is Peter Yan defending against Aljamain Sterling, Bantamweight Championship. You got to have quick eyes for this one, Donald. This one's going to be fast. There's going to be a lot of hard punches thrown, a lot of hard kicks thrown. There might be some grappling thrown in, but this is going to not be for the faint of heart. It's going to be fast, and I can't wait, because this one's going to be a good one. I don't know if this is going to steal the main card. This has fight of the night potential written all over it. So I'm excited to see that. That's 3 title fights on the main card, worth it. And then on the prelims, no less, you got it headlined by Dominic Cruz, one of the greatest bantamweights to ever do it, man. So some would say the greatest bantamweight. He's definitely in the conversation. So that's going to be on free ESPN just before 7:00. So that's probably going to be around 6:30 our time. That one's worth checking out, especially because it's for free, man. Dominic Cruz versus Casey Kenny. That's going to be good. You also got Joseph Benavidez on that prelim. That's going to be around the maybe around the 5:30 time. So that one's worth checking out. I'm telling you, 5 p.m. all the way through the main card, man. Those are gonna be some great fights this Saturday, man. I'm looking forward to it, D-Bot. I know if Sonny were here, he'd probably pick everything opposite of what I'm picking. So I'm gonna give my picks now, and I'm gonna say, main event, man. It's hard to pick against the undefeated Last Airbender. I'm worried about him going up to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say he's going to get it done.
Yeah.
He just has the skills. He has the skill set. He has the intangibles. And he's just a smart fighter. And I feel the extra... I think I saw today, he's weighing in at 193 pounds. And the weight limit is 205 for this heavy... So you know that Jan's going to come in at the fighting weight of 205. I wonder if the discrepancy of poundage is going to come into play, maybe hopefully for the positive, because Airbender could use his speed and his striking and his defense. So we'll see what the game plan is on that night. But that's going to be interesting just to see the weight discrepancy, how that plays out.
Yeah.
And then so that's my main event pick. Donald, do you want to give a pick?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the champion Jan will have it. Like you said, it's still going to be a good one. Champion versus champion is always fun to watch. So that's my thing, is that like it's like seeing two guys go at it to have titles, man. That's awesome. So
for sure.
Yeah, but I can't fully pick, but I would say Jan, the current the defending champ, has to have the advantage. I mean, he should be able to take care of it, given that he's coming to his territory. So
exactly right. How you gonna let somebody come in your house and drink your last beer?
Exactly.
Right? Come on.
Exactly.
I mean, man, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited to see it. And then of course the co-main event, Amanda Nunes, Megan Anderson. I mean, how can you pick against the GOAT?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't.
Tough.
I'm excited to see Megan look good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect her to win, but I want her to put a good showing.
Yeah.
And that's all I want from her.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a low bar to have, because like I said, I was on her hype train from the beginning, but now I feel like, man, after the Holly Holm fight, let's see how she looks after that. And to me, I don't know what strategy you go in after Amanda. Mm-hmm. She's got too much power.
She does.
She's got so much pop. You can't, and then she's got great grappling. Like, there's no matter what's some strategy you go after, it's lose, man.
Yeah,
so
it is.
What are you thinking in this co-main event?
Same thing, man. I feel like there's a cerebral aspect to Amanda's fighting style that sometimes gets a little overlooked, but like her mentality, man, is just so determined, and I feel like it's gonna be tough. It's tough to go against someone like that, but I can't say that Megan Anderson will have a shot. You know what I mean? I just hope, like, you maybe go the distance, last through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But I would not be surprised if it's like a second or third round.
That Peter Yan Aljamain Sterling fight. I hope it goes long. Because the other two main events are expected to be short, especially whenever Amanda Nunes is in the octagon, because she does not get paid by the hour, so she goes in there and takes care of business. So I mean, man, it's gonna be a great night of fights from the prelims all the way up to the main. One thing's for sure, UFC Uncle Dana always comes through and puts on a good show for us, and I think this is gonna be one of those nights where this might be the pay-per-view of the year. It's March, but this has already got on paper the looks of the pay-per-view of the year until the end of March, which is going to be another stacked card. And we'll get into that on the next episode of West Box Score. Thank you for downloading and listening this week. Make sure you follow our media partner on Twitter. They are at Blue Wire Hustle. Blue Wire Hustle is looking for right now, right, Donald?
Yes,
for
they
new
are.
Talent.
So, if you're listening to us and you're thinking like, man, I want to start a sports podcast where these guys inspire me.
I could do what these J-Brones do.
Yeah, exactly. We could do this too, I would say go ahead and go to Blue Wire Hustle. Look them up on Twitter at Blue Wire Hustle. They are accepting applications. It's really cool. Like, honestly, you're going to get cover art for your show. You're going to be part of the Discord the Discord community, which is really cool. They're really cool people there. Like, you get to bounce ideas off people. I mean, that's one of the things that we've learned when we started this show, is that, like, we do this show weekly, and then it was like we really don't have like a community we built. But then with Hustle, like, there's a community there that bounces off of you and they'll listen, they'll give you feedback. And sometimes it's from the moderator, sometimes it's from a fellow podcaster too. And some of them collaborate. Some of them are like, hey man, like we want to talk about Lakers. Can you come on? And then, they all help each other out. So it's really cool. I would say it's totally worth it. And honestly, for what you're getting is what you would be getting at any other website just to have a distribution. And they're giving you more than just distribution. They're giving you a community. They're giving you a lot of feedback. They have a lot of how-tos, like if you want to get started, like, editing tutorials, like things like that, I think if you have no clue, they're definitely going to help you out with that.
Yeah, and D-Bot's there a lot more than I am, but D-Bot is always willing to help the Discord community out there at Blue Wire Hustle because, man, we're all in this together. Yep. We're all trying to hustle, get our podcast off the ground, try to get our voices heard. We all love sports, right? And that's why we all love talking about it. We all love, sometimes holding these athletes, to task, like a Trevor Bauer. That's what we have. That's why we have these platforms, right? So shout outs, Blue Wire Hustle. Thanks, guys, for always helping us and supporting us. Check them out on Twitter, at Blue Wire Hustle. Check out Donald and myself, at Westbox Score on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, the homie Sonny Hermano. His podcast is called The Fox Crate Podcast. He is on Instagram, at The Fox Crate. Man, new episodes coming out soon. His episodes always kick ass, man. His episodes are always great. They're always good to listen to. Get your vinyl itch scratched there on that podcast. It's good stuff, man. D-Bot, another great week, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Thank you for listening to the Westbox Score. See ya.
Later.